Hello guys, what's up? Welcome to the new tutorial from the SketchUpArchStudio. My name is Surush and today we have some interior rendering with the Enscape, but this time I'm gonna render this modern bathroom for you. Let's get to work. I create my scene in the Enscape very simple and easy with the view management, so I'm gonna click on the scene number 1 in here and I want to start my Enscape, but my render is the night render, so I'm gonna add some lights at the first, and after that I'm gonna continue my job. So I'm gonna click on the Enscape object in here and I'm gonna use spotlights for this place. So I'm gonna create my spotlight very simple and easy like that, and after that I want to convert this spotlight to the IES light. So I'm going to check the load IES profile in here and I'm going to click on the drive F, IES light, Voxel Studio, and we have different type of IES lights in here, and I will upload this file for you below this video, so please like and subscribe us. I'm going to go to my computer, drive F, IES light, and Voxel Studio. So when I click on the IES profiles, as you can see, we have 30 model of the different IES lights for designing and illuminating. So I prefer to use some soft light like the light number 5 or light number 7. 13 and 16 is the good lights, and it completely depends on you. So I memorized that light number 5 is really recommended for me. So in the Enscape object environment, I'm going to click on the IES number 5 and open it in my environment. As you can see, the luminance intensity is the 0, so I'm going to convert it to some number about 26 and press enter. So I'm going to close the Enscape object in here, close this picture in here, and now I'm going to adjust my light placement in my environment. So I think some place like that can be really good, and I want to take some copies of this light, very simple and easy, in some distances. For example, every 40 centimeter I want to have one of these lights in my environment. So I'm going to type 4x in here and 5x is good. As you can see, two of them come on my modern panels in here, so I'm going to select both of them and move them a little bit to the forward. So now everything is done for me and my environment is ready. And the one point is that in this place I have some pink orchid color, and in this place front the mirror I have another pink color, and in this stair in here I have another pink color. All of these pink colors will be converted to the self-illuminated light. So I'm going to click on the scene number 1. I want to save my job and click on the Start Enscape. It depends on your system and your hardware, how you can run it at the short time or at the long time. So after a minute, as you can see, Enscape loaded for us, and now we can use it very simple and easy. Enscape is one of the enjoyable rendering engines I have ever tried, and it's really wonderful. So I'm going to click on the Enscape bathroom 1, and this is my environment that I have in here. You can see the differences between the quality of the IES lights and the spotlights. So I suggest you to use IES light if you want to be professional. So I'm going to start my job with the visual setting, and I'm going to convert my rendering quality to the high mode. Now I want to turn on the save frame in here, and after that time for the other things. So I'm going to close the visual setting. I'm going to minimize this screen in here and the SketchUp in here. So I'm going to use the Enscape material editor, and after that I'm going to convert all of the pink colors to the self-illuminate. I'm going to start with the pink number 1 and convert it from the generic to the self-illuminate. As you can see, it's on my roof and ceiling, and you can see the differences like the past. After that, another color we have is the orchid, and I want to convert this orchid to the self-illuminate. So look at the environment. This place and this place is the orchid colors and my hidden lights, and convert it to the light. And finally the plum color is my last self-illuminated light, and I want to click on the generic and convert it to the self-illuminate. As you can see, we can see all the differences very simple in the environment. So everything is done right now. I only want to take some another copies of the IES lights. So I'm going to close the rendering box in here, and I want to select one of them and take another copy to the ceiling. Someplace like that can be really good. So I'm going to right click on it and convert it to the make unique, because all of them is the one simple and complex component. So I'm going to click on the make unique option in here, and now when I click on the Enscape object, I can change my IES profile for this job. I prefer to use number 13 in the IES lights and add it to my environment, and I want to reduce the power of it about 10 candela. Now I'm going to close all of extra things in my windows and move these lights in here. So now I can take some other copies in this place, and it depends on you how you can take these copies. I prefer to use 6 number of these lights in here, or I can fill last place in here, very simple and easy, something like that. But maybe it's not a little bit architectural because it's out of this line and don't have any architectural thinking and designing. So I'm going to select these lights in here, and I think I can take some other copies in some distances about 41, and 2x is good. So I'm going to select all of these lights in here one by one, and after that I can move to adjust them in the direct place in my environment. So I'm going to deselect all of them. I'm going to click on the scene number 1 and press Ctrl S and start my Enscape again. So as you can see, lighting is one of the important and improvable items in the rendering, and you can always use it for your realistic interior or exterior renders. So now I'm going to start my job very simple and easy with some simple tips and topics in the Enscape. So I'm going to maximize my screen in here. We have some purple light in our environment, so I must diffuse it. I'm going to minimize my screen in here, Enscape Material Editor. I start my job with the pink color and change the texture color to the white color. As you can see, the environment improved very fast and easy. You can use warm colors too, and it can help you to achieve to some type of realistic renders. So I prefer to use wet color for this place and reduce the luminance some number about 2200 candela per meter, and the roughness is about 0. Another light is the orchid. As you can see, we have some purple color in here and it's not realistic. So I'm going to change it to the white, and now it's much better. After that, we have plum color in here, and it depends on some place, I think in here. So the luminance is a too high value for this environment. So I'm going to change it to the 1000 candela, and the color light is something like the wheat, and the color of the luminance is wheat too. You can convert it to the white mode, and it completely depends on you. So the roughness is about 0%, and we have some clear light in here. You can see these IES profiles in here. If you don't want to see the sources of the light, you can click on the I think marble 02 and increase the roughness a little bit. As you can see, it will be faded, and it depends on your surface's reflection. So I want to decrease the roughness about 38%. Now it's much better, and you can increase it a little bit, and it completely depends on you. For example, some number like that is much realistic than the past. So I want to press F on my keyboard and click on the scene number 1 in the Enscape environment and close my shot. So I think everything is done right now. I checked all the materials before this tutorial. So now time for the maximizing the screen, and I want to manage these IE slides in here. So I'm going to click on one of them, Enscape object, and when I increase the power of these IE slides, you can see the changes in this environment. I don't want to burn my screen, so I must manage my light source power. I want to turn it to the 74, or some number like 46 can be really useful. Another lights we have in this place, so I can decrease the light power about 10, and now it's much better. So if you want to change the color of the IE slides, you have some simple ways. One of them is the using color bucket. So I'm going to click on the paint bucket in here. After that, I'm going to select another color from the color named, some color like the misty rose, and I can add it to this lights. Very simple and easy. If you focus on the screen, you can see the changes, but misty rose near to the white color and maybe don't affect too much on our render. So when I convert all of these lights to the misty rose, something like that, as you can see, it takes a little bit time and you must be patient. All of them done for us. Now I can recolor them a little bit to the yellow color. As you can see, this is the environment that we have in here, and it's really wonderful. If I change it to the pink color, we will have some pink color in our environment, and it's not realistic at all and totally. So some number about 206, and in the blue channel some number about 189 can be really useful. After that, I'm going to close it. I'm going to select one of these small lights in here and take another copy in this place. One copy in here, another copy in here, and the last one in this place. As you can see, now we light this place is very simple and easy, and everything is done for us. But I think the screen can be a little bit more brighter. So I'm going to close the Enscape. I'm going to save my job again and click on the Enscape object, and I want to create some sphere lights behind my camera. So I'm going to click on the sphere light and double click in my environment. So some number about 150 can be really useful. So I'm going to move it in this place and move it a little bit to the backward, a little bit to the left side, and take some copies in different distances. So I think 2x is really good, so I'm going to select all of these lights in here, and another time I'm going to take some other copies in this way. As you can see, the copy done for us. Now I'm going to click on the Start Enscape again to see the result of my lighting. So it takes a little bit time, and when you add different type of lights, your screen and your project will get much heavier than the past. So I'm gonna maximize my Enscape environment in here, and now time for the rendering. You can see the result, and the result is much better than the past. So I'm gonna click on the visual setting in here. I'm gonna click on the output, change it to the custom mode, and I want to change the resolution to the 9020 and 1440. It's really good number for this type of bathroom in here. I want to save it as the JPG, so output box is done for us. Now I will come back to the main bar in here. I'm gonna use the field of view to zoom a little bit in my environment, something like this. And I want to add some number about 64 degree in the horizontal, and the exposure, I can increase the exposure to make my screen much brighter. So I'm going to use some parameter about 59%. The depth of field is really important. So I'm going to turn it on, turn off the autofocus, and change my focal point from the lens of the camera. I can move my visual setting box a little bit to this place. I can focus on this woman in here, or I can focus on this job in here. I prefer to focus on this job in this place, so I want to move it a little bit, and 5.04 is the best number for this case. So I want to increase the depth of field a little bit, about 17%. And you can save these changes on your rendering setting. I will go to the image bar in here, turn on the auto contrast. The color temperature, if I want some warm render, I can reduce it. As you can see the result in here. Some number about 4000 Kelvina is really good. And we have some black theme in here. For this problem, you can increase saturation a little bit. A little bit means that you must convert it from 100 to 103%, and it will improve your render. Motion blur is not useful because we don't create any type of animation right now. And bloom option. As you can see, we have some type of unsharp places in here. So I'm going to convert bloom to the 0, and you can see now my render is much sharper than the past. The lens flare helps you to create different type of things in your environment. But I prefer to use it in some lower numbers like the 28%. The vignette is not really useful, so I'm going to reduce it. And chromatic aberration, not useful at all. At the atmosphere box, I can use the fog option for my interior blurs, but it's not really special right now. The artificial light brightness is now important, so I'm going to increase it a little bit to manage my screen light. Some number about 108% is good, something like that. And ambient brightness is about 58%. Shadow sharpness is not really useful. I need some soft shadows. For the soft result of the shadows, you must reduce this parameter. And all the things done right now. In the final, we have the skybox in here. I want some clear sky with the zero amount of clouds. So I'm going to convert density, variety, cirrus amount, and contrails to the 0 and press enter. All the things done right now for me, and I only want to click on the main bar in here and increase my exposure about 60%. And I want to increase the rendering quality to the ultra. As you can see now, we have better realistic result in here. Everything is done for me. If you look at these places in the render, you can see light switch suddenly change, and it's caused some problems in your render. The reason is that in the image and main bar, you increase the depth of field. When I decrease the depth of field, this problem will be solved, and it's really easy. So 11% is the best number that we have in here. We have some light reflections on this glass, and it's not really realistic at all. For solving this problem, you must click on the SketchUp environment, look around a little bit, and change the light positions someplace, for example, like that. As you can see, now we have much better result in here, but maybe we have some problems in the lighting, but it's not important at all. Or you can move it a little bit to this side, and you can see these type of changes in your environment. It completely depends on you and your taste. So after all of these jobs, I'm going to minimize my Enscape, select one of these sphere lights. I think screen can get much brighter. So I'm going to convert the luminance intensity from 150 candela to some number about, for example, 350 candela. Now it's much better. So I can convert these MDFs a little bit darker. For this reason, I'm going to click on the Enscape material editor, but before that I must change my camera position on it. So I'm going to click on the Enscape material editor, paint bucket. I want to detect this material in the Enscape material editor, so I'm going to click on the sample paint and pick this color up. And now I can make it a little bit darker, or in the advanced mode, I'm going to change it a little bit to the 66, 66, and 66. Now it's much better. I can copy this color code to other materials in the advanced mode and Ctrl V and press enter. Now the result is much better, and time for the rendering. For the rendering, I'm going to click on the screenshot button in here and save it in my desktop and type it bathroom design and press save. As you can see, it takes a little bit time, and after that you will see the result of the project. The result is completely incredible because Enscape is one of the best rendering engines that we have in the world for the 3D artists and 3D designers. So I'm going to close the Enscape bar in here, Enscape material in here, save my project, scene number 1, and close it and open my render. As you can see, this is the result that we have in the Enscape. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Thanks for your time, thanks for your watching, and I only have one request in you. Please subscribe our YouTube channel. Thanks so much and goodbye.